Welcome back. Now, if you're just joining us, this is Metropol Business Center. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a sudden and substantial impact on the arts and cultural heritage sector. Now, the global health crisis and the uncertainty resulting from it profoundly affected a lot of organization operations as well as individuals, both employed and independent. Now, this is an agro sector that brings up a lot of job opportunities. Now today we look at how the cultural and creative industries are faring on amid COVID-19, and joining me today for today's conversation is the one and only Lisa Christopherson, and she is an interior designer, she is a tribal art expert, and even an event organizer. She wears many hats. Now thank you so much for joining me, Lisa.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. I'm super excited for our conversation today. So we'll jump right into the first question of the day. So the spread of COVID-19 has led to there being a lot of cancellations and postponements affecting artists around the world and putting a global money-making industry at risk. Now, being an owner of your own art gallery and working very closely with these artists, would you say this effect of the pandemic has been felt in the Kenyan culture and art space from where you stand?
It certainly has affected everybody, like you said, internationally, locally. I curate many exhibitions, art exhibitions that include paintings and photography. So working with well-known Kenyan artists and photographers. And of course, there's been no business. Nobody's investing anything anymore because of the insecurities. What's going to happen next? Mm-hmm. We don't know. They have the money, but they're frozen. Yeah. So it's been a real struggle. Mm-hmm. And many of the artists and photographers have said to me, Lisa, if there's somebody interested in my art, call us. We're willing to reduce the prices. Mm-hmm. They need cash flow.
That's very true. I can imagine that situation. Now, how have you been able to survive amid COVID-19 and been able to manage and keep your business afloat?
Well, I did something which I myself would say quite gutsy during this COVID-19 pandemic here in Kenya. I started a brand new business, so moved away from a home gallery that I've had for multiple years to renting a beautiful space in a commercial hub in Gigiri, right off the UN Avenue next to the US Embassy, mm-hmm. and created Lifestyle. So Lifestyle, the whole concept is quite amazing, if I may say so. Where you walk in, there is an art gallery. There are beautiful interior accessories. So it's like a home where the furniture, the lamps, the carpets, all the little accessory candles are all for sale. The different rooms mm-hmm. are rented out. So we have Rosencrantz jewelry that is a friend of mine, a Danish jewelry designer with beautiful high-end jewelry. And actually, he's the one that's created the Kenya bracelet made from Japanese compressed glass beads. We have fashion houses like Deepa Dosaja, Anna Trubinsky, myself.
Yes.
And we've got furniture, Trade Routes furniture in there, and bespoke tailoring by Gentil, who you can come in and get fitted out for any occasion, even weddings, mm-hmm. and many other things, a garden center as well. Mm-hmm. So as you walk in, photography is hanging on the wall, paintings are hanging all over the place. Even if you walk into the bathrooms, there are paintings. So it's also creating a fabulous space, including a 1-acre garden where a lot of all the art and sculptures are in the garden and for sale, abiding to the COVID-19 social distancing requirements.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that sounds like an amazing place. I honestly think I will have to visit there very soon because it just sounds magical. And I'm happy that you mentioned.
Quite spectacular.
Great. I'm happy that you mentioned that, with COVID-19, affecting a lot of people like you with your businesses, you turned into starting something new, something chic, something modern that a lot of Kenyans get to experience. I wanted to know now, with COVID-19 in place, did you have to kind of approach this business with a different model? We have now social distancing rules. We have a lot of rules that need to be applied, in order for this business to run safely. So what would you say are some of those things you had to change in terms of your business model this time around in order to run things safely with COVID-19 around?
So we have signs everywhere that you must wear your mask at all times. We do wine tasting events, And because I also arrange and do safaris, which I'm very passionate about, the whole theme is actually safari chic. So in the garden, I've dug 2 fire pits. So you can sit socially distancing on a canvas safari director's chair, sip a glass of wine, and we talk about art. So we have Rishalela, who recently talked about his photography, and around a campfire in the evening under the skies. How beautiful is that? So you're outdoors, al fresco style, and keeping your social distancing. So we very much respect the laws of Kenya.
Great. And how do we get to find out about this, events? I know you've worked on a recent event on photography. So individuals like us who want to know about it, where do we go? Where do we find this information? Can you share that with us?
Absolutely. So we have a social media platform. So Facebook, Instagram, lifestyle. You can follow us. You can also email me, lisa@lisachristopherson.com. And we're open 7 days a week. We're really super flexible. We also rent out the space to private small events. So if somebody wants to have a little gathering, they can always contact me and say, look, we would like to rent the space and have a little event. We're open to that. And Tomoka Coffee is also joining us. So watch this space. There's a lot of activities that are still adding on to the lifestyle menu.
Okay, great. Now, before you even move on to talk, you give us a little more information and insight on the events, the current events you just hosted. I wanted to look at, we had mentioned earlier that some artists are even talking to you right now and telling you, okay, can I even lower the price of my work in order for individuals to buy them? I wanted to know, these artists you work closely with, especially when it comes to your arts gallery, what other alternatives have they turned to? Because right now, business in the art space is so stagnant.
Absolutely. So what I've done is I've actually created an artist installment plan. So you come to me and say, Lisa, I love that painting. It's so beautiful. However, it doesn't accommodate my budget. So I will ask you, how much can you pay me? So put a down payment and you tell me, as I do not understand your finances, how much you can pay me each month. And we sign a contract. And once you completed payment in full, you will be the proud owner of that painting, and we let it go.
Okay, that is such a great thing to do right there. And where you stand right now, and as much as we know we have less, I feel like the rules are more lessened right now. You know, businesses are more opened around in Kenya. Do you think or see we'll ever get to a space where, you know, the art space or the cultural space is making money and we're back in business and we have tourists coming in to see and buy and purchase these different pieces?
I believe so. You know, I'm a very positive person. I was born positive and I'm very passionate about what I do. And I believe that we can adapt to many different business modules, such as socializing, you know, socializing online. So we can sell online, we can do online auctions. And what I also want is, because of our garden spaces, we take the art and the photography outdoors and take it with us. We can even take it on a safari. And we want, you know, my plan is also to have artists come with blank canvases and teach people to draw, teach people to paint. It's a request I've had from multiple people. So it's something that we're also going to be doing.
Painting and sipping, that's what we call it.
Yeah, painting, sipping and painting, whichever comes first, yes.
Make sure you invite me for that one. Now, please share with me about this event you just recently had. I know there's an event happening on Thursday, wine tasting, as well as, you know, you had a photography event with one of the photographers that came into your space. Please share with me about those particular events and how that transition has been from, you know, how it was then and now.
Well, so we're not a bar nor are we a restaurant, but we have partnered with a company called Wine Life. And Wine Life work with some of the top wine experts, wine sommeliers, and they sell some of the most amazing wines from all over the world. So wine tasting is generally on Thursdays. They charge 500 shillings entrance just to secure a seated space in the garden. And we invite different people. Like last Thursday, the event you are referring to, we had Diane from a company called Under the Influence. Great name, by the way. So Diane is originally Zimbabwean and was talking about South African wines. So we were talking about a beautiful new rosé called the Protea, elegant, stunning bottle. And then we talked about a Chenin Blanc, white wine. and a couple of red wines. And it was such a fun evening because in between each wine, she's talking very passionate about it. The original story about how they started vineyards in the Cape. And she was singing, started with Jerusalem, and then she went on to a lot of other South African songs in between each wine. And in between all of that, we had Kenya's probably number one photographer, Rish Alela. And by the way, I'd just like to announce that Rish and his beautiful wife, Ella, have just welcomed their firstborn, a lovely little boy, into this world. So congratulations, guys.
Yes,
so Rish Alela has developed an app called Archivive. When you download that app and point your camera on your smartphone to that particular photo, the photo comes alive. A video on how that photo was actually taken comes alive. That's so amazing. Rish was talking about his work and the pieces that he has. And one of the stories that he has, which I personally absolutely love, is a story about Metakilili, the freedom fighter. And many people don't know who Metakilili is. She's part of the Mijikenda clan, and her whole army were just women who rode bareback. A beautiful story on the power of Kenyan women that very few Kenyans know. So they need to come to Lifestyle and learn all of this history that we have to share.
I most definitely will make time to come.
It was a beautiful, beautiful evening. 2 fire pits were burning a flame, stars were shining, and it was a lovely crowd.
That's great. That is such a wonderful explanation, and get to know that this is happening. And I actually want to know how the turnout was for this particular events. Are Kenyans still hesitant to go for these events, or they're willing to just come and enjoy and get to have this culture experience?
I believe Kenyans are social creatures more than many others. And, they're always happy and love to experience new things. So we are actually overwhelmed with the amount of people that want to come to our events. We have to turn people away. Hence the reason why we have to charge an entrance fee on certain events is to control the numbers. So having a crowd between 60 people in a 1-acre space with a lot of social distancing is wonderful. And it's a very mixed crowd, from predominantly Kenyans who are coming, ambassadors, as we are in the diplomatic hub. Of course, a lot of diplomats turn up as well. So it's also, I'm very proud as a Kenyan to also teach them some of our culture, because that's what I'm about, is educating the culture, the history, and all the tribal stories that we need to educate ourselves on.
Okay, great. And now that we have the second wave of coronavirus, coming, what are you anticipating in terms of business? Do you think business is gonna go? Is it gonna be the same? Do you think we're gonna be in a space where the numbers are gonna go up?
Do you know what? I think we just have to make the best of what we have and abide by the laws, and that's what we do. We're open all day, so if you want to come at 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock, whatever time, have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, you're welcome, as long as everybody respects the rules and regulations.
Thank you so much for that, Lisa. I think I'm just going to wrap up with the last question that I have for you. Being someone that, you saw COVID-19, how it hit the arts and the culture space, you ended up, starting your own business once again, different direction to accommodate what's happening with COVID-19. What kind of advice would you give someone within that space who's stuck? They are not, selling their pieces, and they're trying to find a different direction in order to make money. What kind of advice would you share with them in order to encourage them to not give up and push forward?
Well, I would also advise anybody who's in the art world. Art is a broad spectrum word, so it's not just restricted to paintings or photography. We're talking jewelry, we're talking fashion, sculptures. An author is an artist. So anybody who is within that art world is welcome to contact me. Come, we can do a small event for you. So we could combine it, for example, with a wine tasting, and they can talk about their products and they can sell their products through Lifestyle. We do pop-ups as well. I'm quite big on CSRs, so we've been supporting a lot of little jewelry designers from Rongata Rongai the other day, the deaf girls, Sasa Designs. So they're normally with us every Thursday selling their beautiful jewelry at incredibly affordable prices from, for example, 500 shillings for a necklace or a pair of earrings. It's incredibly affordable, and you're supporting a very, very good cause. So come, by all means, contact me, reach out to us at Lifestyle. We're more than happy to accommodate you.
Thank you so much for that, Lisa. Where you had it, Lisa is the actual plug who's just gonna get you leading on the right direction. Thank you so much for making time, Lisa, to have this conversation with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
And I hope I'll have you next time.
If you want to talk to me. And Karibu to Lifestyle.
100%, we'll definitely be there. Now, guys, we're going to take a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're looking at the trends that have been happening on social media spaces with Stephanie Waswa. So do not go anywhere because we have a lot of interesting things in store for you.